Let's join Barry Donadio there. You can see him, former Secret Service agent. He is live for us in New York. Very good to have you on Sky News. Thank you for your time today. Well, the reporter there was describing fear and uncertainty, and we've had, in fact, this in while you're on. Let me just tell our viewers this, some words from Zoran Mamdani, the mayor-elect of New York, describing it as senseless violence, once considered unfathomable, which he says has become nauseatingly normal to all of us across our nation. Well, here we are on Saturday evening where you are, and another tragedy unfolding.
Yes, thanks for having me on, and I'm sorry to anybody that is affected by this. My understanding is that a shooter did go into final exams and probably just aimed a weapon at anybody he was able to aim at, and successfully killed 2 people and injure a whole bunch of other 8, potentially even more. Now, this is a complex case because right away the police are going to respond in and go to where the shots are being fired, okay? And then when they didn't encounter somebody or he escaped, they have the massive task of going methodically from room to room, from building to building, to try to look for people that are sheltering in place to come to their rescue. This university has approximately 11,000 people. So as you can imagine, there are people that are sheltering in place. You've heard some of the students that you've had on your program, 2 hours. There's probably even more out there sheltering, even in a closet, locking themselves in, terrified, until the police are able to rescue them. They probably have to call 911 and be put on a list for the police to be able to get to them. They're in the hundreds, I would imagine. So this is a very, like your newscaster said, very active scene. We still have a shooter out there. And now there's another army of police that are searching for this person. So we literally have 2 armies of police. The first responders that are there on a scene, trying to rescue the students and address the shooter. And if he is no longer on the scene, a whole other investigative force that is looking through videos and trying to get evidence as quick as possible so they can bring the shooter to justice. I can tell you this 100%. They're going to find this person. It's only a matter of time. He's on video somewhere. He's left DNA on the scene. It's just a matter of time. They will have him in custody.
To what extent could the operation be hampered looking for the shooter? The fact he, according to reports, was dressed in black, and here we are on a Saturday night when it's dark and no doubt it's going to be busy heading up to Christmas.
Yeah, it seems to be the trendy thing for people that do this kind of thing, dress all in black, and somehow that's either cool or something. I don't know what they're trying to achieve. I imagine he had a face mask to try to conceal his identity. Right now, it could be anybody, but I'm telling you, they're going from house to house, door to door. They're looking at every single video in the area. I'm sure he's captured somewhere on video, and they're just going to keep tracing the tracks of where he might have gone. And again, he's probably left a source of DNA somewhere on the scene. There are shell casings there, obviously, from his weapon. They're going to trace all of that. There's something they're going to find. It's just a matter of time.
And who's involved in this operation? Is it local police in Rhode Island or government officials? Will the FBI perhaps be brought in?
Yeah, I imagine from what I'm seeing in your videos, you have the local police, campus police also, state police from Rhode Island, and I'm not quite certain if the federal government has been asked to come in. I imagine they will be, and I would expect the Trump administration to go full force. The FBI will be there on scene very, very quickly once they're asked to go on scene. And from what I know of President Trump, all resources of the federal government will be granted to the authorities of Rhode Island to bring this person to justice.
Now, we had heard, hadn't we, earlier, that somebody had been arrested, somebody was in custody in connection with this, but that was then corrected. The mayor who fronted that news conference earlier, Brett Smiley from Providence, said a person preliminarily thought to be involved was detained, but later determined to have no involvement. And that filtered its way to Donald Trump, didn't it? Because he put out something on Truth Social saying a suspect was in custody and then had to backtrack on that. Would that have done any harm? This misleading, although it might have been wholly unintentional, but it was some misleading information.
Right. As you can imagine, that's quite common. In a scene like this, the police are going to stop literally everybody. You heard a student on your program there even say the police stopped him and searched him to make sure he wasn't involved. And they literally have to do that with everybody they rescue to ensure that the perpetrator is not pretending to be a victim. And that would be a classic case of what they would do too. So they literally have to validate, not only rescue, but validate every single person, every single student that they come in contact. So I'm surprised they're just reporting only one person was apprehended, when in reality, they probably apprehended and released dozens and dozens of people.
Many in this country would be surprised to hear that exams are taking place. These were final exams at a school in the United States, but that's quite common. I mean, from what people are saying, it was very busy, and many people were in this engineering building.
Yes, that's correct. It's final exams, and we're leading right up to Christmas. So this is a common thing in the United States.
And just, we've got a minute and a half left or so right now. Yeah, the time of year couldn't be worse, could it, with people having to mourn coming up to the festive period. Will there be everything drafted into this investigation, given the fact it is a weekend? Law enforcement, I'm guessing, doesn't stop just because it is Saturday night as you're approaching a Sunday morning.
Yeah, so of course, I'm proud to be a former member of the Secret Service and a law enforcement officer. Police never sleep. Our first responders, our firefighters, our EMTs on the ambulance, they don't sleep and they don't quit either. And they risk their lives for anybody who needs help. I can tell you also, my time working around the FBI, they don't sleep either, and they do not relent or yield to anything, not weather or anything that's in their way. They are going to get the job done. So the quicker the authorities in Rhode Island request their assistance, the FBI, I'm sure, are just waiting to get on a plane over there, and they're waiting to also to respond from their field office, which I believe is right there in Providence anyway.
And just finally, your thoughts for those caught up in this unfolding tragedy?
You know, my final thoughts is my prayers, and I'm sure all of your viewers are praying for the best for anybody that is suffering. I imagine the least amount of suffering would be as soon as they catch this person, and they are going to catch this person. So if you're watching, make no mistake about it. You're hearing it from me. It's just a matter of time. They will find out who this person is, and they will have him in custody.
Well, thank you very much indeed, Barry Donadio, for your time.